Finally made my way into the Ford Maverick tiny pickup truck. This is the hybrid, and today I'm going to tell you that this is the only pickup truck you need for city purposes. Great thing about a hybrid is that when the car is on, or the truck is on in this situation, the engine is completely off when you come to a stop. So if you're driving through the city, you're going to be getting over 40 miles per gallon. In my testing, I'm seeing 42, sometimes 46, 47 in my city driving trips. On the highway, it's going to get down to about the low 30s. Now, that's when also the gasoline turbo engine will keep up with this, and fuel efficiency is around 30 miles per gallon when you're going about 75 miles per hour. Now, the hybrid here is only front wheel drive, and there's no all-wheel drive option for the hybrid. If you need all-wheel drive, get the turbo 2-liter. That'll give you also about 250 horsepower. This comes in around 191 horsepower, which in my opinion, again, is all the power you're going to need in the streets. Now, it does tow about 2,000 pounds for the hybrid and has payload capacity of about 1,500 pounds. If you need to tow more, up to 4,000 pounds, you're going to need to get the towing package on the turbo model, but not interested in the turbo. There we go, closing that down here. We have the XLT. I believe this also has the black package on it, which blacks out the front. The Ford logo gives us the blacked out 18-inch wheels as well, kind of like that matte black finish. Of course, we got the black XLT logo as well, glossy black mirrors. And don't forget, we have the number pad. Ford is one of the few companies that still includes a number pad from the 90s. It's a throwback. I love that feature. And since the key fob is not smart access, it's great to have that as well, so you can type your way into the car. However, you're going to need to get your key out anyways, because it is not push button start. You have to put the key in, turn it over. Even though the engine doesn't fire it on because it's a hybrid, you still have to turn it for the car to recognize that the car is ready to drive, or should I say it's in the ready mode. As we come to the back, now the styling of the Maverick, I haven't even talked about it, guys. I love how it looks. It's easy to park. What truck is easy to park nowadays? Not even things like the mid-size pickup truck like the Colorado or the Ranger, the Tacoma, the Frontier. They've all become massive. This thing is perfectly sized for city purposes. I like the nice high bed. The only truck I've driven that's similar to this would be the Hyundai Santa Cruz. I still feel like that's a bigger, more substantial truck than this. I know they're unibody, they're not body on frame. That's why you can package them so smallly. But anyways, black logo here, Maverick stamped into the trunk lid, the tailgate. The hybrid logo here, the bottom left. Yeah, my wife has absolutely loved this truck. She really enjoys the looks of it. And so this is a truck I could actually see us having in the family potentially. But you got too many kids nowadays for that. Got some 12-volt accessory power here on each end of the bed. Clip that back in. We also have some anchors here where you can tie your things down. We have a sprayed in bed liner as well. Over here with the flex bed stuff, we got some storage capacity in here, so a deep piece as well if you guys want to hide something. It says 20 pounds max, so you can't put anything too heavy in there, but I like that functionality that a unibody allows for. Of course, we have the Ford logo back there on the back. And like I said, you can put up to 1,500 pounds of payload in the back. Get into the back seat, hard touch everywhere. That's kind of pretty much a theme of this truck. We got these half handles here that were strange at first, but I've grown to really like them since they're so unique and you can actually get your whole hand on it. Now this is soft touch, thankfully for the elbow rests. Got some cup holders down here. I like these kind of charcoal cloth seats, and we can lift this up. I put some sushi down here and put some frozen chicken nuggets on top of it to keep it cold. All right, yes, top tethers you can tether in for the little kiddos. What is it like for me at 6'1"? Well, I'm sitting behind myself. I actually have enough room here for my knees to go into the back of the chair. They've kind of made a little cutout. Huge headroom, no surprise. I have a 12-volt back here, so put in a little adapter and you got USB power, which is awesome. Maybe this is a coin tray, which is a bit of a strange addition here, but pretty basic back seat, almost completely flat floor here as well. So let's go and get into the front seat. Yeah, we got blind spot monitor here. It's a great feature. Again, completely plastic doors, soft armrest, thankfully. We do have auto down window, but not auto up. None of the other windows are auto down or other auto up either. Sound system here is pretty terrible, but what do you expect for mid $20,000 hybrid pickup truck. Love the seats actually. Like I said, the cloth, super comfortable. It's going to keep you cool. It's not going to be hot like a vinyl or synthetic leather or even leather seat. Very basic seat control here with just manual slidey bar and levers here to raise and lower the seat. Nothing, and it's pretty much a no frills truck in this XLE, and that makes me happy. I like the bare bones options. So analog gauge for the pseudo tachometer. It's kind of the power gauge here. So for the hybrid system, fuel gauge is analog. Temperature gauge is analog, speedometer is analog, and then you have this digital screen here. I can pull up other information. You can get with radar cruise control, lane keep assist. I don't have that here. I still have normal cruise control here. Let's go ahead and talk about this middle screen. I believe it's 8 inches. It's really small. It's really dark and dim, and I wish it was brighter. It's really unfortunate. I can still pull up Android Auto. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot or any hybrid metrics. All I get is kind of this hybrid metric. It doesn't tell me what's going on in the background. I don't get a lot of computer data coming in. There's no software set up for that. I have this cutout here. I would assume you can put in probably a 12-inch screen or 10 to 12-inch screen here, but we have this little cutout, so maybe you can put a hula girl in there or something hiding. Volume knob tuning, I love the simplicity, love the functionality. It's getting kind of warm in here. The AC works amazing. I like having direct control over fan, temperature, and yeah, it's just awesome to have basic controls that are right there, and the vents are, it's just super ergonomic. Now I want to put it into drive. You have this rotary dial, not my favorite cup of tea. It is pretty simple though. You also have auto brake hold on here, and it is memory, so when you turn the truck off and turn it back on, it'll keep auto brake hold on, which I love. You can turn off traction control here, and then you also have different driving modes, so normal, towing, slippery, eco, sport. I'm just going to keep it in normal for today's review. Hard touch on the dash. Again, well, the little cubby there, which is not rubberized or felt, so things are going to be scratching and rolling around in there. Dash is pretty basic. You kind of have this rugged plastic pseudo rock formation on the dash, which is pretty neat. But yeah, very basic. Panels everywhere. Large enough glove box, or should I say, large enough glove box there. Luckily, this is more of a leather surface to keep it comfortable for your arms for resting. And this is actually the felt liner down there, a pretty deep storage space. We've got a rubber liner here, so your coins or whatever won't be jiggling around. And rubber liner for the cup holders, which is a nice feature as well. This is just a pad here for your phone, but you also have this vertical one. I'm sure in the higher trims this would be a wireless charger. You also have a 12-volt accessory for additional power, and then you have USB-C and a USB-A in here. Here's your key for ignition. It's the strangest thing. I love this. When you turn off the car, it'll tell you how much fuel economy you got, or how good your fuel economy was, how long the car is running, and how much of your miles that you took on your trip were actually in electric mode. But this is how the car turns on, or should I say the truck. That's it. And then it pops up, it's ready. So you don't know, you never know actually how long you need to hold it for, because you don't hear an engine turning over. It's a bit strange, but yeah, it is functional. I'm sick of talking about the interior. There's not much to say about it in here. It's very basic, very pedestrian, but it is rugged. And after 12,000 miles, engine change it. Jeez, okay, get me out of all these windows. Yeah, my odometer is not showing up, but I know it has over 12,000 miles, and there's like no squeaks or rattles going on in here. Twisting it into drive, can't really slam it into drive, and auto brake hold is on, which I really like that feature. So many trucks don't have that feature because, I don't know, they just seem to be antiquated. This being a unibody seems to be more up to date in some ways, and yeah, I'm immediately going to talk about the brakes in here because they're extremely unpredictable. The initial deceleration is done through the regen, it feels like, and that is predictable. And then when you get to the last 3 or 4 miles per hour, your regen brakes turn off, and then your friction brakes come on out of nowhere and completely changes the predictability of the brake pedal. So I really don't like the brakes in here at slow speeds, but there is a cool feature. There's a brake coach for the hybrid settings, and when you do a good job braking, it'll tell you how well you've recuperated energy during your braking session. So I do like that. But yeah, the AC is already too chilly in here. I'm gonna have to pop it up. These vents are super strong, even at the lowest fan speed. So A+, at least on the AC settings here and the capabilities. The plastic steering wheel, I get for the price point. I do like how it feels in terms of the design of it, just not the materials. It's not the worst plastic steering wheel, but for around 25K, you can get this truck for. It's, you know, you just live with it. You can always get this leather wrapped if you need to, or get a steering wheel cover. All right, let's talk about quietness. Well, I get hardly any noise in this truck coming up from the bottom. I feel like it's very isolated, and since it is a truck, there's not a lot of extra space like a crossover where you have more noise entering the cabin. There's not a big hatchback area that is just an echo chamber. So I feel like this truck is really quiet, especially around town, and that's where I recommend it. And once you get up to higher speeds, you do get quite a bit of wind noise coming in from both driver and passenger windows here. Now, I don't have a lot of turns in Florida, but what do I think about the steering? Well, the steering feels a lot better than most pickup trucks, I would say, nowadays. I like how firm it is. It's responsive. And this truck actually handles really well for a truck. And I know you're gonna say, Kirk, it's not really a truck, but it's got a bed on it. It counts as a truck in my opinion. And you know, does it handle better than something like the Honda Ridgeline? They're all the same, right? They all use the same platform. Yes, it does handle a lot better than the Ridgeline in my opinion. It is much lighter. This, I'll put exactly how much weight compared to a Ridgeline this is. It's a much smaller truck than the Ridgeline, it feels like. And how do I sit in here? Well, it feels like I'm in something like the Bronco Sport. I sit up higher than a sedan, but not nearly as high as a body-on-frame pickup truck. Feels like I'm in a compact crossover. And I do have a lot of room in here. It feels great, I have lots of headroom. But yeah, I just don't sit up that high, which I also really like as well. So I like the steering feel. I like how quiet it is for the most part. What is the ride quality like? Well, it's on the firmer end, but you would think with a firmer suspension here, it would be maybe a bit rattly with all the plastics, but that's not the case. So even when you hit broken pavement, it is a bit bumpy, but it is still, it feels very well built, very well put together. Nothing's creaking, rattling, which, like I said, for 12,568 miles, there's none of that sort creeping up, which can happen with cheaply built cars. Even though this is a cheap price tag, it does not feel cheaply built. Let's get into the gas. Pedal down now. I think it's plenty quick. There's 60, and I didn't have the pedal all the way down for most of that acceleration run because don't need to. I feel like it's more fun to play the MPG game than it is just to mash the pedal all the time. If you're into mashing the pedal, get the turbo. You're not going to enjoy this ECVT combination. To me, it's like I've been waiting for this for so long. Toyota refuses to make a pickup truck of this segment with a fuel-efficient hybrid. They just want to put in turbo hybrids, which give you tons of power in their Tacoma and their Tundra, but they don't have a entry-level pickup truck anymore since the Tacomas got so enormous over the years. So Ford has this game to their own, this entry-level pickup truck segment. Yes, there's the Santa Cruz, but I like this truck way more. Yes, the Santa Cruz is a nicer interior, better electronics, better safety, but none of that matters when you can get this truck for around 25K, get a hybrid, get it 40 miles per gallon plus in town, and you're still able to put in tons of stuff into the bed for your Home Depot runs. I don't put the dog in the back. I don't know. Do dogs go in the back of trucks nowadays? I don't know. Maybe if you live in a small town, you're not going over 25 miles an hour. But yeah, I mean, I'm always stuck behind creeper vans like this, so using any sort of power in town is always wasted. Over 200 horsepower, it feels like. And that's where 191 horsepower and 40 plus miles per gallon makes more sense. I'm not like anguished inside because I have this great powertrain underneath that I need to like tap into every time I drive it to make the purchase worth it. I don't have to worry about that. Instead, when I'm stuck in stupid traffic, I can smile because I'm getting over 40 miles per gallon in a truck, which is, it still blows my mind. Yes, Ford should. There's no excuse that they don't offer rear-wheel drive motor in here for all-wheel drive functionality, right? This is a front-wheel drive only hybrid pickup truck. So that is a swing and a miss, and that's something that they're leaving the competitors wide open to take advantage of. Maybe Subaru can come in with a hybrid pickup truck. Toyota can come in with an entry-level hybrid pickup truck, like the Stout's been rumored for a long time, but we're still waiting. So even though this truck is pretty cheap on the inside, it is only in front-wheel drive, I can forgive all of that because of the overall package. There's nothing else in the market in the United States that offers this sort of fuel economy in a truck package at this price point. Are you kidding me? 25 to 30K for an XLE? And no, I wouldn't spend any more on this truck because it's pretty basic. But that's, you know, this is its strongest point right here, this XLE. Get the black package if you feel like you need that extra pizzazz, but I don't know. I think the Maverick is just super cute the way it is. You don't need to do a whole lot to it. So, all right, guys, it's been a long time. I've been waiting to drive this pickup truck. Yes, I wouldn't mind driving the turbo version of this just to compare and contrast. I believe that has an 8-speed auto with it, but why? You know, I just feel like that would be a waste unless you're towing. So if you're towing, get the turbo. If all you do is, or if you need all-wheel drive for whatever reason, get the turbo. But I would say for the vast majority of people that want a city truck, the hybrid's the way to go. Laugh your way to the gas pump seldomly because you won't be going very often. And just enjoy a bare bones pickup truck. It reminds me of my grandma's Dodge Dakota, mid-90s Dodge Dakota, very basic truck. I think that one was actually a 4x4. But this reminds me, it's small, it's cheap on the inside, it seems very rugged. That old Dakota kept running, and I expect with this hybrid setup to be more reliable than the turbo setup. There's just less things going on in here with the ECVT. Electric motors, you know, take the strain off the gasoline engine. So ending this video, the clock saying on this trip, even after I was idling it with the engine off, the car was still on, I'm getting 44 miles to the gallon. So if Ford could fix the all-wheel drive situation here, the lack thereof, and fix the brake feel on this pickup truck, on the hybrid pickup right there, like, yeah, it's just super unpredictable because you go from like slowly decelerating the car, and then it switches into the friction brakes, it feels like, and then it just like hits the brake pedal even harder, and you didn't move your foot at all. It's really finicky, but I can forgive it for that because this truck is so cheap. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Signing out from my favorite entry-level pickup truck. Well, nothing can touch it for the price point, nothing can touch it for the practicality aspects either. So, and it's just cute. It's a cute truck. Ford hit a home run with this. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of the Maverick Hybrid. Would you be getting this or the turbo, or would you be getting something like the Santa Cruz? Or are you just waiting and praying and hoping that Toyota comes out with one with all-wheel drive? I don't think Toyota will be able to come close on the price point of this. So it'll be interesting. Let's hope it happens for the sake of competition. And you know, if someone else like Toyota enters this entry-level hybrid small pickup truck game, it'll only make Ford step up their game here with the Maverick. They can make this thing as cheap as they want, cut as many corners as they want, because it's a really good pickup truck with no competition. So anyways, got to cut myself off. Hit the like button for the Maverick and for what Ford's doing with this entry-level hybrid pickup truck. Catch you in the next one.